Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your AEW Rampage Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man to give you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And this is, and this will be about AEW Rampage, the fallout from Forbidden Door Part 2, as you know, on the road to All In will begin. From this point, we have an Owen Hart, women's Owen Hart semi-final. And the winner of this Owen Hart semi-final of the women's side will meet Will Nightingale in the tournament final. And the winner of that match will get a women's title shot at All In. Right now, the current AEW Women's World Champion is Timeless Toni Storm. And we still have a lot of and looks like a stable has added a new member, and Samoa Joe is about fed up with Chris Jericho. Let's talk a little bit about that. Roosh took on Commander one-on-one. Roosh has been a man without a group, a stable. Don't know what's going on. Well, but Roosh did pick up the victory over Commander. In tag action, two members of the Don Callis family, former Ring of Honor television champ Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita, went up against Private Party, Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy. And they were celebrating Shark Week for Discovery, and Isaiah Cassidy was wearing one of those shark fins on his head, thinking he was Shark Boy. Oh, hell yeah! But Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy went at it, but Fletcher and Takeshita ended up winning in the end. Renee Paquette interviewed the Undisputed Kingdom as Roderick Strong wants Kyle O'Reilly to join them. He says, "You gotta stop this, Kyle, or else I'm gonna have to hurt you." I think Kyle O'Reilly is still trying to get some wins under. He's trying to do everything the right way. And so you got that. And in the next matchup, actually Don Callis joined on commentary for that matchup on that tag matchup. But then afterwards, he talked to Roosh. And Roosh shook Don Callis' hand. Ladies and gentlemen, the Don Callis family has another member in Roosh. You talk about an international conglomerate. You think you still got Powerhouse Hobbs, who was hurt, representing the States. You got now you had Will Ospreay from England, but he ended up leaving. Kyle Fletcher from Australia, Konosuke Takeshita from Japan, and now you got Roosh from Mexico. Don Callis has got something going here. He's got something going on. And the Undisputed Kingdom joins on commentary, trying to pitch for Kyle O'Reilly to join them, as Kyle O'Reilly went up against GPA, and Kyle O'Reilly ended up winning the matchup. And then afterwards, O'Reilly walked away from the Undisputed Kingdom, wanted to celebrate with him, but Kyle O'Reilly goes, no. I got to do this on my own. I think you got to respect Kyle O'Reilly, and I'll tell you why. Kyle O'Reilly's been a man on a mission on his own. A lot has gone on with him and everything else. He needs to be on his own. Let him fight on his own. But it seems like Roderick Strong is too demanding. I mean, if I was to ask to join a group, I would say no. I do things if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to have anybody hold my hand. You know what I mean? When it comes to wrestling, professional wrestling, I would have said, listen, I'm a man on a mission. I do things on my own. I get what I want. I can't join a clique just to work for others. You know what I mean? Excuse me. So that's how I feel about it. Samoa Joe, about fed up with Chris Jericho's antics. He says, do you have faith? You're downing yourself. You're doubting you can't do it without others. So next week on AEW Dynamite, they're going to go at it in a Stampede match. A Stampede street fight in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Chris Jericho is done for, man. Chris Jericho is going to get his butt kicked. And this was so funny. One of the people on X.com says, why does Brian Keefe look like the guy from Little Rascals? I'm like, buckwheat? Oh, no. Oh, no. I hope they don't start doing a buckwheat chant, because that will be trouble. That'll be trouble. But the main event of AEW Rampage from last night, the Owen Hart Women's Semifinal, Hikaru Shida, a 3-time AEW Women's World Champion, the first 3-timer, went up against Mariah May, who had Timeless Toni Storm and Luther in her corner. And during the matchup, Timeless Toni Storm got into Shida's face during the matchup, but that distraction was Mariah May needed, and Mariah May ends up winning the matchup. And this coming Wednesday, Mariah May will challenge Willow Nightingale to win in the final round of the tournament. We still have yet between Jay White and Hangman Adam Page tonight on Collision. Whoever wins that faces Bryan Danielson in the tournament final. But here's an interesting situation. Going back to the women's division there just for a second, man. Mariah May is Toni Storm's protege. If Mariah May defeats Willow Nightingale, this will be the biggest test of Mariah May's career. Going up against her mentor, Toni Storm. And here's the thing, too. Mariah May's from England. And we all know how Toni Storm feels about England. At this rate in time, we could see a falling out. Because Toni Storm's got to realize she'll have to defend her title against her protege if her protege wins this Owen Hart Classic. And this will be even awkward for Mina Shirakawa, who just became friends with Toni Storm. I mean, Toni Storm knows and understands what this means. You know? Seriously. I mean, Toni Storm, I tell you what, Toni Storm's done a great job helping out Mariah May, being her mentor and all that. And it seems like I think Mariah May be ready to challenge. Who knows what's going to happen, though? As you know, a lot of other women like Saraya, Harley Cameron. We still have yet Jamie Hayter, who's trying to come back from an injury, waiting in the wings as well. A lot of things could happen. A lot of factors can play into things. Who knows for sure what's going to happen? Meanwhile, on the men's side of things, Hangman Adam Page is obsessed with Swerve Strickland right now. Ever since that feud with Swerve Strickland, it's affected him mentally. To the point where the Young Bucks suspended him and the reason why he did not want to join the Young Bucks is because they suspended him, and he's a little ticked at them for that. And it seems like this man's a mission on his own. And he knows it too. But he gets by Jay White. You get him and Bryan Danielson. And Hangman Adam Page is a man on an island of his own. Because you got Jay White with the Bang Bang Gang backing him up. Bryan Danielson possibly with the Blackpool Combat Club backing him up. Hangman Adam Page could have had the Elite backing him up. But his attitude and his anger towards Swerve Strickland has consumed him. And maybe the Young Bucks suspending him was not a wise thing for them to do. They could have had him as an ally, but they blew that when they suspended Hangman Adam Page. Young Bucks, you say, what's up with him? It's your fault, gentlemen. You had Hangman Adam Page suspended. You ticked him off at that point. And you just cost yourselves an ally for blood and guts. That's all I gotta say. So let's find out what happens tonight on Collision. So that's it. That's all the time we have on the show. Episode 1525 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Up next will be the Card Shark Saturday, the first Card Shark Saturday, Sharks and Sue Saturday of July 2024. So until then, until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.